everyone, I'm Holly with Missouri River Soap, and today I'm making a batch called Grapefruit Smoothie, and I'm going to use kefir in this. And kefir is fermented milk. It can be cow's milk, typically animal milks, but it can be done, there's a process, but it can be done with like coconut and nut milks and stuff like that. It is so good. It's healthy, full of probiotics. We like to use them in smoothies, and so I thought it would be fun today to use the kefir in my soap. I've done it before, and while the nutrients don't really come through to the soap, it still lends a great feel to the soap. And that's what we're going for ultimately anyway, is that soap that feels great to use. So it's just super thick. I have fluffed it up with my Ninja Dealio contraption just so that any bits will have gotten plenty broken up, because kefir can sometimes have a little bit of bits. It's not too bad, but it can happen. And look at all that luscious yumminess. So I'm going to blend this into my oils. Okay, so now I'm going to put in my lye solution, and it does have some lye lint today, so I'm just going to strain that out. Usually fresh lye lint is not a problem, but when I have a lye solution that's been sitting for a little while, usually 1 or 2 days, I prefer to go ahead and strain it out because it can be a little bit crunchy. There's some more down in the bottom that's just kind of hanging out down there, and it's happy. It's not much of a reduction, it's not much of a loss, and if anything, it'll just super fat the soap batch just a hair. Okay, so I'm going to put in my pink grapefruit fragrance, and it just smells so good. Just like a pure, fresh, cut into a grapefruit scent. It is so nice. So the pH of soap is at a level that typically mold and bacteria can't grow in it. That's why we do fine with full milk soaps and using additives. It is a delicate balance. There is a chance that it could, the balance could become off and something could still grow, especially if you have big particles or things aren't blended in well enough, etc. Typically, the worst you're going to deal with is the dreaded orange spots, or maybe something starting to smell a bit rancid, but typically you don't have any troubles at all. This is still very thin, but it's trying to come to a light trace. So I'm going to do a bit of a gradient transition kind of a look. So I'm going to pour in quite a lot into this big pitcher. And I've been trying to decide if I want to go with a couple of different colors or not, as in a few colors as opposed to just what's in here. I think I'm just gonna go with the two. So I just have this desire to do like an orangey yellow transitioning into a pink. So I think what I will do is I'm going to use mostly yellow. Let's see if I can get over a little bit. Alright, so I have a little yellow here. But I don't want it just to be yellow yellow. It's going to come out to be a bit orange, but if we kind of went a bright orange temporarily, that would be neat. Now this will pale out a little bit. I do like it, but I know it's gonna pale just a little bit. So I think I will mix in just a little bit more. I just mix my colors in a little bit of olive oil. Okay, that's looking very nice. I'll give it more of a stir in a moment. So back into the big pot, I'm gonna do a pretty bright pink. Now the base color I used here does fade out quite a bit, so I'm just going to go ahead and put the rest of it in. Usually I just stir in micas, but this does have a little bit of neon pigment in it, so I thought I'd give them a bit of a blend. They both have a little bit of neon. So what I like to do is push the color up where there's uncolored soap batter, so it kind of brings it down into, and I don't have to worry quite as much about scraping every last bit. And then I can get that at the end if I need to. Okay, so I'm going to get my mold in here and start pouring. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I want to put a little layer here on the bottom of this base color. And then basically, maybe we can go straight here. Me doing quite a lot of stirring actually. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put a little bit of pink into it. Let's stir it around. And I've decided to just pour it in instead of worrying about layers. I still think that's going to look fun. There's going to be a lot of pouring and shifting back and forth. A little heavy-handed with that pour. Didn't quite intend to do that. Usually I'm quite surprised. Now this is not the most efficient gradient or perfect gradient. I tend to be too impatient to do such things. I have such good memories of the smell of grapefruit. When we go to my grandma and grandpa's ranch in Wyoming, my grandma had this little pull-out dealio, little cutting board, little table that pulled out. And my job for breakfast was to cut the grapefruit. My grandpa liked to have grapefruit. I think it was a heart situation, you know, healthy thing to do. And anyway, so mine was to cut it in half and put them into a bowl. And then I'd put a little maraschino cherry on the top. And that was just so much fun, and I loved that little job. That was just what I did. And so I just have great memories of being at that ranch in working on that project. I would like to have some straight pink at the end. But we'll see. I feel like rolling with it. I feel like it's okay to roll with this today. I haven't made a lot of soap recently, so I'm kind of getting back into it, getting my feel. I was kind of feeling, I don't know, conflicted. I'm not quite sure what I wanted to do. Sometimes when I have so much I have to do, I really get, I don't know, kind of confused. Like, I don't know what I should do, so sometimes I just don't do anything, if that makes sense. And so I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna go downstairs for a little bit and make sure we're in focus here. And I'm just going to just sit on the front porch and take some deep breaths of fresh country air, and we'll see how it goes. So about that time, a big old storm came in, and it was one of the most, was one of the noisiest we've had in a while. And I don't know, almost felt supercharged from all the electricity in the air, and I knew exactly what I wanted to do. And so one of the things I've learned is to listen to myself. If I'm in a funk, I'm not going to make amazing soap. I'm just not. And so I just try to take a break, maybe even just 5 minutes, or I'll set the alarm on. I don't know what just happened over here. I'll set the alarm on my clock and just relax for, you know, 20-30 minutes. It's amazing what a small break will do to give you just loads of energy and inspiration. And I just kind of feel like it's just one of those things. You just gotta listen. Of course, you can't always do that in a lot of jobs, you know, obviously, but that's what breaks are for, I would suppose. Just give you a little moment to refresh yourself. A lot of times when your business is in your home, or, you know, this is kind of an attic. It's not in my home, but it's part of my home. Work is always where my home is. So there's always work ready to be done. And it's easy to just get caught up in the work and not taking a break. And gosh, we just got to take breaks too for ourselves, because if we don't take breaks for our own health, we'll be forced to break when we end up sick or just so beat down that we can't go on. So that's my thought for today, is to listen to yourself, take a break if you're able when you need to, and just come back recharged and ready. So this is looking so nice. I'm ending up with the pink on the top as I wanted. I'm trying to decide if I should do anything to the top. I realized I don't think I got that far. I don't think I made any plans for the top of this soap. So I guess while I'm spooning this on, I'm just gonna think about it. What I'm going to do is this is tone on tone drizzle. I'm really liking this. Of course, I think I just grabbed some other soap, but that's okay. Some of the orangey yellow. I I've said it before, I'm saying it again, I really need inside wipers for my goggles because I feel like there's a rainstorm going on in there. Can't hardly see what I'm doing. So much for no fog goggles. Alright, so I'm going to clean up the edges and I will decide if I'm going to do glitter or not. Okay, so here we have the pink grapefruit smoothie soap made with kefir, and I decided not to do glitter because I got to thinking about my grapefruit loving customers, and I know there's some of them that don't like glitter, so I'm gonna hold off on glitter on this one. And so I think it looks great. I'm excited about it and I can't wait to cut into it. I'm gonna let it sit for about 24 hours before I unmold, and then I'll probably wait 24 hours after that. It's just the way I roll. That's the way I like it. I feel like I get the best cuts if I wait up to from 24 to 48 hours. So that's what I'm gonna do. All right, guys, I'll see you back here for the cut. I am back to cut the grapefruit kefir soap. Doesn't that look great? I love how the colors worked together on this one. I haven't cut any of the loaves yet, as you go, well, you may be able to see, I don't know. So, it's been a little while, so they're pretty hard bars at this point. I just love kefir soaps. Looks like I managed to cut this one a little bit squirrely. Oh, it smells so good. Look at that. Isn't that so lovely and fun? Oh goodness, love it. I love it, love it, love it. It's just a real, like, kind of a subtle swirl, almost like you're looking in a window at the swirl, if that makes sense. I don't know if that, I don't know, it's like, because it's not a real strong, like, bright, crisp swirl. I don't know, that's just how I've been explaining that look recently. It's just kind of like there's like a, I don't know, like you're looking through something. I like the flat top on this one. Just a little bit of the drizzle. This would be a really nice, refreshing soap to use. We're in a season of really heavy, spicy scents. I think it's just kind of nice to have something nice and refreshing also. I really don't need to clean the wire every single time because we do plane and bubble the edges of all of our soaps. So I'm trying to remember that it's okay not to. Oh, I did that a little bit weird. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, I got my regular 10 bars, so I'm gonna make some samples out of this bigger end piece. I usually get 40 bars out of one of these batches each time with some extras on the end. I don't know that I will cut more than just these two. This was a very soft, it was very soft at first when I went to unmold it. It was, I think it was right the next day, and this grapefruit kind of reverses trace. So it was a bit soft. I'm going to just take a real thin edge off of this one because I won't be sending this as a sample because it's all, I don't know, it's all messed up anyway. So normally I would like to leave something like this in the mold for a few days, just knowing that it does take a while to set up nice and hard, but I wanted to make more soap, so I needed to. See, the wire cleaning things, I have it. The only time I really need to do that is when I have kind of like a dollopy top. It was with a different color. That can be a pain to clean those up since the edges aren't very smooth. So anyway, that's about it. just going to finish cutting these bars, and I'm going to put these on the shelf. I'll line them all back up on this aluminum tray, but I do have a paper towel, and this paper towel will get used again to clean up after it's sat on there for all that time. So multi-use instead of like a parchment sheet that I could not actually use it to clean anything after that, you know, just like clean off tables or something before I get ready to wash it, etc., like a soap dish or whatever. So there you have it. We have the new Grapefruit Kefir Soap, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.